Hi there, my name's Sarah and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to Top Tips Tuesday. Today we're going to be talking about punches, and I hope I can remember to tell you everything. I've got a little list here just to remind me. Right, so to start off with, I've been using, I don't know if you've seen recently, for my Facebook Live this evening I'm going to be doing an autumn wreath, and I've been using this sprig punch, so this has been getting quite a lot of usage. So I thought I'd show you how you sharpen them. Now usually you can tell if they need sharpening, they start chomping at the cardstock. And these punches, just to let you know, are designed for cardstock and not paper. So if you put paper in them, they don't tend to cut very well, but they will cut our cardstock absolutely fine. It's something obviously to do with the weight and the thickness. So the same as when you go to sharpen them, you can sharpen them using just basic aluminium foil, but you have to fold it several times. It's just a case of getting the right amount of thickness and for your file. So I've done that twice and then over again, and it did just work okay. So probably works best with putting a fold through here rather than scrappy edges. So you just put it in and you just punch, and you just keep doing that, and that just sharpens your punches nicely. So do that several times. Right, that's that. So that's how you sharpen them. Sometimes it does get caught on the foil a little bit, and that's just a case of playing around with your layers, really. Next, you'll notice that at the moment, obviously, it's open and it's wide like that. But to close them so they're flush, you just push them down, and then there's a little locking mechanism here, and you just push that up, just like that. Then they become nice and flush and nice and stackable, so you can stack them on top of each other. You can't see that, but you can all that way. So you can either stack them on top of each other or store them that way. Actually, that way if you want to see the pictures. Or you can get little storage units with a little bit of a gap like that, so you can fit them all in. But obviously they're different heights, so that makes a difference. Right, so while we're talking about the locking mechanism now, I just want to show you. Now you could argue that this shouldn't happen, but sometimes it does when your punches are getting a little bit old. Sometimes the plastic lever thing pops out. So it's not a problem, the punch will still work, but you just won't be able to lock it. All it is a case. Now there is an upside down or the right way and a wrong way. And if you get it the wrong way, basically you just have to pull it out with a pokey tool and put it in the right way. So, and I never can tell which is the right way. I guess you could probably look actually and see if I can. Yeah, that's at the top. Okay, so yeah, if you look, you want the bigger bit of plastic facing the punch, I think. So you want this bit at the top, and all you do is you just push it in, and it's fine, it goes in perfectly. So back you go and close it again. So it's really simple as that. That's a retired one. I was going to show you that. I'll have to put that away. And then I'll discuss about there are different types of punches. Alright, so we've got these ones, which are called builder punches. I think that's the only two I've got up here. Yeah, these are builder punches, and they are what they say. Basically, you can build pictures with them. So like this is the whale scene, so you can do some stamping, cut out your whale, all these splashes, and I'm going to show you a way how to do that in a minute. Same with the tulip, you've got a tulip and a leaf there. So I'll come back to those in a moment. And then we've got like our decorative punches, I guess you'd call them. There's quite a range of those. There's these lovely Christmas baubles. There's a stamp set that goes with these. So that obviously one big one cuts out that one, and that one. So you do your stamping first, and then you punch them. It makes the job so much easier than having to fussy cut them all the time. This one, as I've explained, I'll be using that tonight. It's a sprig punch to make my autumn wreath. So if you want to watch that, look out for tonight's Facebook Live. You've got daisy punches. These are like floral ones. Yeah, and you could call that a floral punch as well, but that's obviously part of your builder range. So that's those types. And then you've got I guess you'd call them decorative ones, or label punches maybe. That's if you want to put a sentiment on, really. So you've got this one. You could use your circle ones. They have cut down recently, our circle, and they don't do scalloped ones anymore. So I haven't actually got many of these yet. I have got to build up more because a lot of them are retired. So there was this one. So they're very simple, but this is now retired as well. So yeah, you get the idea. Our ideal for sentiments. And then we've got tag ones. So this is you create gift tags with. I'll show you how to use these in a moment. And these are our special new sentiment ones. And there's another new one in the mini catalogue, which I don't possess yet, but whether I'll get it or not. It's a banner. It's got banners on the end, which is really good. But this does your different sizes. So you've got 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and 1 inch. So I'll come back to those in a minute. Which ones haven't I done yet? I think. Then we've got this one, which is a triple or trio punch. This does a little hole if you want to put ribbons through, a lovely decorative corner one, and a corner punch. And I'll show you that in a minute. And then you've got a border punch. Did I say, yeah, corner punch, border punch? And I'll share how to use that. Right, let's just quickly show you while we're here. So just get. So this one, oh, and when you use, right, so here you've got little little nobules here, and you want to, I won't do it on this one because you need a bigger piece of cardstock. Where's that not going? Oh no, it's not right. Oh, so yeah, you need it flush up to there because it's, so I hope you can see that. I'm flushing it right up to there. Use this for a while. Oh yeah, and don't do what I just did. Instead of, you think you're going to push down like that because it's on the corner. Actually, if you press in the middle, you get a better punch. So I'll do that again. So yeah, don't press just down on one edge. Press in the middle. And you can do it this way, but I do with a lot of my punches. Do it this way, but you generally don't need to line up with these. Yeah, that one. Corner punch, you probably do want to look where you're doing, because you want to get, when you're doing corners, you want to get your point in the middle. You don't want it, I'm trying to do it so it's not right. You don't want it like that. So if you put it, another way to get it right is you've got your little nobules again, and you make sure that your card goes in square. If your card's in square, press down the centre. You should get a nice corner around it, as I say, or you can do it that way. You can look and just make sure your corner's right in the middle of that little hole there. Either way, because sometimes it's hard to push on your, not with this one, it's not, it's really easy this is, but you can do it that way, and you can, yeah, you can't, yeah, you can't so much with this one, but you can with the other punches. I'll show you. It's kind of work, there's different methods for different punches, and you kind of get to know which one works. This one again. So we've done the corner rounder. Don't forget you're right up the little edges in the middle, and you get a lovely decorative corner. So that's that one. Oops, knocking everything. Right. Let's show you this one now. I'm going to go through them so I don't get them in the right order, and then I hopefully won't forget anything. Right, I haven't actually used this one a lot. Right, with this, it depends what I'm doing, but maybe probably the best thing is to get your cardstock even and get this sort of centralised. As I say, it really does depend what you're doing. So we'll punch down first. Use your heel of your hand because they can be a little bit tough, but and you put plenty of pressure there. Right, so hopefully you can see that. Got there. Then I don't know if you can see, you've got all these silver marks here. And all you do is you line in this pink cardstock in the light grey or the grey areas. So hopefully you can see that. hopefully you can see. So if I line it off, so you can see the cardstock is going in between. So you should see just the silver paint. I know what I've done. See, I've got that in between. That's because I didn't get it. I should have shifted it over more. So let me show you again. We can try and see if we can line it up. Hopefully it won't chomp twice. So you can see you really want that under. So let's line it up that way and hope it doesn't double punch. Nope, that's pretty good. So that's okay. So yeah, you want to make sure you've got this cardstock, because the punch bit doesn't start till in a little bit in there. So you want to make sure your cardstock's in there. So you won't. So you could do, if you did that, you can see the cardstock's not in there properly. So we'll push it along and we'll line it up. Yeah, again, it's one of those things you have to have your head over. And you get a punch. If you really struggle with punching it down while you're sitting down, try standing up and putting your body weight down. It's so much easier. It really is. So that's those ones. Another little tip, if your eyesight really isn't good, and sometimes mine isn't because I have an eye condition, and I sometimes colour this in with a Sharpie or something in black, or a colour you can see, because the silver, when it catches the light, if you've got sunshine and on it, sometimes it really, you can't see it. It's not too bad on this one actually, but I have had ones in the past where I can't see that at all. So I just colour it in so it's clearer. Just a little extra tip for you if you want to do that. Right, that's those ones. These are just, yeah, your normal punches like your sprig punch and your floral ones. They're just plain sailing, simple to use. These ones I'm going to show you. Right, so these ones you can obviously just cut out cardstock. If you want to do some stamping, you have to work out where, because you've got two in the punch, you can just do the flower. Let me show you. You can just do it. You can just do your flower. And yeah, you haven't stamped it, have I? That's not showing you much. Right, let me show you on here. Right, now trick is, if you just want to do the flower, I've stamped some earlier, you can see, because you've got your leaf stamp, you've got your leaf punch, you're cutting off the rest of your stamping. The trick to that is simple, just work from the other end. So make sure you're always working, if you can see that a bit. So punch, and then this is just cutting out your scrap. So as long as you work from that side, you can see you're always just working into your scrap, so it doesn't matter. Okay, right, another tip, when you've got a punch, I don't know if you can see that's not going anywhere. Because I've kind of squidged it down, half squidged it. So what you can do, it's a good tip, just to line it up and then just press it down, and then you can kind of see if you're happy with it, and it kind of holds it there. So when you're happy, you can press it and go for it. Another trick is, if you, I don't know if it'll work this way, if you do have real trouble pressing it down with your fingers, you can try doing it this way. I don't use this often, but it should work. So you just don't want to move. I can actually see the camera. So you want to be able to see your image while you do it. But yeah, and you can see that's a little bit off because I couldn't quite see it. I should have turned it round actually. And I could have seen it. And then if you did want to do your stamping and your leaf at the same time to save a little bit of time, the best way to go about that is to make yourself a template, which I did make earlier. All that is getting a piece of cardstock, probably a darker colour than this would be wise, but so just punch it out into your cardstock, and I'll put a darker colour underneath so you can see it. And then you get your stamps, And I've got the tulip one out already. And you line, I'm going to do it the right way, and you put your stamps inside. Just take a little bit of time getting it right, getting placement right. Is that? Yeah, that was right. Having the darker colour underneath, you can see a little bit better. Line it up, and then what you can do your, I'll do it on this one, ink. So this is where it's a little bit tricky, because you there's a bit of metal foil on there. I didn't bring my cleaning cloth up, so I'm going to be able to do this once. Oh no, because I can. So just want to ink just the tulip, and you can see I've just gone onto the leaf. So you would have a cleaning cloth normally, but just ink it up. I've gone on there a little bit. So yeah, a little bit fiddly, but it's so kind of. I tend to do them both separately, I have to be honest. But this is what it's designed to be able to do. So, and if you look, the punch is at a slightly different, a slight angle. The tulip is, so don't punch it upwards. Punch it at a little bit of an angle, or stamp it at a little bit of an angle, like that. But then it should be perfectly in line to punch out. Pretty much a little bit off. So if you weren't happy with that, you could just spend a little bit more time. Yeah, it's a little bit off. Getting it correct. Yeah, that one's off. I think these ones are better. Like that. What else have I got to show you? So I've showed you the template, stamp upside down. So yeah, don't be afraid to stamp. If you didn't need to see the back for line, if you didn't have a stamp, you could by all means just thread it through and just punch it down and use your hand that way. But it's just easy when you can see the back and see what you're actually doing. That kind of all depends on your dexterity issues or whatever. Stamp cut paper to size. Oh yes, right. So also, as you can probably see, so you don't waste paper, I measure, and I haven't bought a tape measure. I just measure basically across there, and I think it's 45 millimeters, so I give it 50 millimeters, and because they're at a slightly different angle and the leaf's longer, I think I did these at 60. So just measure and cut at 60 millimeters your strips of cardstock, and I'm covered in ink. And yeah, it just saves on your cardstock. Really, it's just a way to save it. Right, what else? Showed you those ones. This one is, well, we've got 2 of these, I think, and we may have 3. Excuse me. These are called tag toppers. They're lovely and perfect to make bookmarks with, or obviously gift tags. So this in here measures 2 inches or 5 centimeters, stroke 50 millimeters. So you cut your cardstock. I did have some already cut somewhere. Here we go. So you get these measure, and you can just slip it into the slot. And then yet again, I always just turn it over. Because you want to watch, you want to get equal measurement each side, so you centralize it, in other words. Don't know if you can see that. And you just punch down, and you've got top of a gift tag or a bookmark, and then you can obviously cut it whatever length you want. So that's that one. Then we have our lovely labels pick a punch, which was brand new concept, really, I guess you'd say, which was in the main catalogue. And they've got another one, as I said, in the new mini catalogue, which I haven't got yet. So yeah, again, you've got your 3 different sizes, which say I have marked on here for ease and clarity for myself more than anything really. So hopefully you can see that you've got your 3 different channels here. So your 1/2 inch goes in there, and this is what I'm showing you on here. This is what you'll end up with on the 1/2 inch. You'll get this design, and it'll cut there, if you can see that. So that's where that'll end there, and you'll get that one. Then the second cut you'll get just with that little bit, and then you'll get the full thing with the 1 inch. Hopefully I'll make it clearer in a minute. So feed it in, make sure it's central, and you can, yeah, do your sentiment and then cut it to wherever you want your, yeah, make sure obviously if you've used this one, you use that one again, not that one, and don't, because it'd look a bit odd. So make sure you centralise it. And so, but these are brilliant because I say you can have whatever the length you like of label. I don't know why that's not trumped that one correctly. Let me do that again. Probably something I did. Probably, yeah, I don't think, oh, I haven't cut up. If you make sure you cut it straight across, because otherwise you won't get a, well, that's done it better this time. Yeah, that's better. So there's that. And then obviously you've got all your different sizes. This is your 3/4 inch. The next gully, and that's a little bit bigger than 3/4 inch. I'm just going to go for it. So centralise again. And I'll do the 1 inch, and then I'll show you the different results. So make sure it's always make sure it's central. Like that. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Let's get some coloured cardstock. So that's your 1 inch cut out. Don't see my writing. That's your 3/4 inch cut out, and that's your 1/2 inch. It's all very nice, but depending on the width of your, or height of your sentiment really, which one you want to use. So there's that. I think that's just about it. Let me just check on my list that I have covered everything. Cut paper size and something. Oh yeah, I can quickly show you this one. I've got a big enough piece of cardstock. Yeah, I actually haven't got the proper punches for this at the moment. You really need the ones that are more rectangular. I can kind of show you on this one, but this is a retired one. But yeah, this will kind of give you, but you're better off with the punches that are rectangular in shape, or yeah, rectangular or square. I can, I don't know why that's not feeding in. It's getting caught somewhere. I think it's that. It's come out again. I think the punch is caught on one side a little bit. It just needs. I'll sort that out. Oh, I'll do that quickly. You know, it's just pop it in. Pop it up there. I need a white one. Yeah, that's going to keep popping out. It's a well-used old punch. Right. So I say it's not ideal with this one exactly, but it's just to show you kind of what you can do. You can, so you'd put your sentiment on here, You'd stamp your sentiment, which I could probably do quickly. That one was. Not quite the right, I don't know, shape for that, but just to show you really. It's just another way to get punches, a little bit more out of your punches. If you don't have dies or a die cutting machine. Yeah, you can kind of, it doesn't quite work on this one because it being rounded. It'd be better if it was square across the top, but you can actually, I didn't bring my glues up either, so you just stick them on there. You can either, yeah, you stick them on the ends. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. You stick them there on the end. Doesn't quite work with these. And then if you wanted to, you can cut this one. Show you. And you can, would have been handy if I'd have brought my glue up, wouldn't it? But hopefully you can see. You can kind of create extra layer, really. That's what I'm trying to say. Just this is if you don't have dies, really. It just makes your punches that, you know, there are little things you can do with them to just get a little bit more use out of them. It's not quite right. It doesn't look quite right with that punch, but it will with some of the others. Okay, I think that's just about it. So thank you very much for joining me, and I hope that was helpful. Oh, not the camera. And I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.